starting off the day with weighing my pack before we hit the road, and it came in at a whopping 31.8 pounds, fully loaded with 5 to 6 days worth of food. I then had to say goodbye to Buddy Boy for what is probably the last time, and it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. He's been with me for the last 3 years, and when the tears started, they were very hard to stop, even after him and my boyfriend had driven off for what feels like the last time. We are finally in Texas. We have had, it's 2:45 now, and it's already felt like a really long, full and emotional day. And yeah, after a lot of tears, a lot of deep breathing, finally got on the road, and we're kind of taking back roads to leaving from Oklahoma to Amarillo. And we're probably an hour out from Amarillo, and then we are going to be stopping on the border tonight between New Mexico and Texas, just to break up the drive. And then tomorrow we will get into Silver City and attend the first day of trail days, which I think they actually kicked off today, but I think all of the activities are starting tomorrow. So we'll be able to go to trail days, so that'll be fun. It's feeling more real with every mile that we are gaining and making it there. I won't say that it's all for the best, because I really do wish that, I mean, I'm glad that Buddy that he's still doing well and he's healthy. All things considered, he's still eating, he's still being active, he's still playful, he still wants his cuddles, and he's still able to go to the bathroom okay, and all that good stuff. So he's, they gave him a month back in February, and now it's been 2 months and he's still doing really well. So I'm glad that he's doing well, but it does make it harder because I'm not going to be here when the tough calls have to be made. But overall, I'm good. I'm excited. I don't want to rush this weekend because me and my mom are together. She's inside the gas station right now, and we're having a good time, and we haven't had like a lot of time together in quite a while. So I don't want to rush it too much, but definitely eager to get on trail as well. After a couple more hours of driving, we finally made it to Amarillo, and to our surprise, they have a brand new Buc-ee's, which if you know, you know. And we're super excited to see this because we were able to get some gas and a delicious barbecue sandwich with some barbecue sauce and pickles. We picked up a few more snacks, and then we just kind of took a few minutes out in the car, had a nice little lunch, a nice little recharge before we kept on driving a few more hours to the New Mexico border. We finally made it to Tucumcari, New Mexico, where they have a lot of little cute roadside motels. So we snagged a room at Motel Safari, and the beds were super comfortable. The room was really clean, and they had a lot of guest amenities, which was nice. We were super tired the night before, so we actually just hung out in the room and got some food to go. So the next morning, we stopped at this cute little coffee shop across the road and got some coffee and some biscuits and gravy, some little pastries. It was really lovely. The man was super nice, and we were happy to have a nice breakfast before we had to get back on the road. How's the driving going? Long? We've broken it up into 2 segments, 2 days.
Yeah, but I can't sit still very long, so.
Well, we've only been on the road 2 hours. We still have another 4.5 hours until we get to Silver City. Are you going to drive the whole time?
Yeah, I don't want to sit over there.
Last night we stopped in Tucumcari, which is like a little Route 66 town right off the interstate, and we were a little nervous driving in last night because it looked a little run down, and then we started to approach kind of like the main strip of motels, and pretty cute. And we stayed at Motel Safari, which my boyfriend picked out for us, and it was really nice. Very clean, lots of nice amenities, and then we ordered some food in just because like the day just like wiped us out, like from all the emotional stuff in the morning to a 6.5 hour drive, and it was just like really windy yesterday and just a lot of dirt and dust coming into the car. So we got there and we just sat in bed and ate food, and then we passed out and slept pretty well. We woke up around 6:15 today, laid there for a bit, and then got up and got around. We drove around the little town. It was really cute. We had breakfast across the street, and I'm really hoping that my coffee was not a full calf because it was strong. I ordered a decaf Americano, and we had me and the guy behind the counter had a conversation about it, but that was the strongest decaf coffee beverage I've ever had. So we will see if I have a headache in a few hours if it was actually decaf or not. And then we drove around and we took pictures of all the cool murals in the town. They have, I think, over 100 murals scattered throughout the different little neighborhoods and stuff. And now we are about 30 miles outside of Albuquerque, which is crazy because I was just here 2 months ago. The time has flown by. And then we will head south to Silver City, and today is like the first big day of trail days. So I think we're gonna miss all of the like talks and stuff that people are giving this main part of the day, but I think we'll be there for the kickoff at the brewery. And then I think the stargazing is tonight, so we may do that as well, and then get settled in our Airbnb. And then tomorrow is like the big festival day, and like a huge cold front's moving in, so hope we brought enough layers. Did you bring enough layers?
No.
Because it was supposed to be warm when I told her about her packing, and then we saw the weather pattern shifting, and Oklahoma is supposed to get like where we live 8 inches of rain this weekend, which is crazy. So I hope things don't flood while she's away. But yeah, so tomorrow will be a little chilly, but it'll be a good festival day, and lots of vendors will be there, so we may be able to get some new backpacking stuff that I can send you home with because my bag is full up. So this is my travel buddy. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I am Leah, Chelsea's younger, prettier, smarter friend that takes her everywhere, does all the things for her.
Just happens to look a lot like me.
Yeah.
So you're my younger friend who we're not related to at all?
Yeah, no. Just gave birth to her.
Yeah. So that's my mom. She is my OG hiking buddy. She's actually the person I started backpacking with, and I told you guys that story before of how we were really, our first backpacking trip was kind of just a joke between the two of us to see if we could even carry our go bags any type of distance. And then for whatever reason, the torture of the worst night of sleep of our lives, and the cold, and the ill-prepared gear that we had, and eating uncooked freeze-dried eggs, or attempting to. We didn't actually eat them because they were disgusting, because my mom forgot that she needed to actually cook them, not just put boiling water in them. But yeah, anyway, that was not, it was not an ideal dreamy backpacking trip with like an outfitter and gear and all that, and for some reason we really enjoyed it, so we just slowly over the last 5 years have bought newer, better, and lighter gear, and have gotten, you know, our different family members involved in things. So yeah, she was my OG hiking buddy. Then I drug my boyfriend into it. Yeah, those are our family hikes that we've made into stickers. And yeah, I drug my boyfriend into it, and he's able to go a little bit further than her because he has a better cardiovascular system than both of us. He out hikes me as well. So him and I are able to do some trips, and then we've done family trips where it's been all of us plus my brother and sister and significant others and all kinds of things. So she was.
And we've changed Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is no longer Thanksgiving at our casa anymore.
No, we started doing family hikes instead.
Yep.
Yeah, just because like our family is not a huge family, and we've slowly just dwindled down into just a few people that come every year, and it just kind of feels forced. And so the last 3 years we've just been like,
children,
why don't we just go hiking instead? So we've been doing family Thanksgiving hikes, and it's nice because no one really hikes during that time, and you have the whole trail to yourself for the most part. There might be like some day hikers if the weather's nice, but yeah, it's been a fun tradition. So it's good that I'll be back from the CDT by then, so I'll be able to do that. I'll just be able to out hike all of you hopefully.
We'll have to pump it up in
she was kind enough to take off work and spend a couple days driving me out here and then going to trail days with me. And then she will unfortunately have to make this very long 12-hour drive back by herself. So are you looking forward to that?
No. ADHD, we'll have to take an ADHD pill of some sort.
Do you think you're gonna make it
12
all
hours?
the way?
I'm gonna try to, so I can have Monday to relax, but we'll see if my ADHD, we'll see if I get arrested about Albuquerque.
Arrested for what?
Maybe hanging my head out the window acting nutty, you know? No telling.
That's the update. That's where we're at. Probably won't do another update until we get to Silver City because it's just a whole lot of I-40. But it's been a good trip so far, and I'm actually surprised that the weather has been as nice as it is because we woke up and it was overcast and windy. So the sun has come out, and it's a nice, cool, breezy desert day. So we arrived in Silver City yesterday. We did a 6-hour drive from Tucumcari, and I think we got some footage of that, but then I did not do a very good job filming the rest of the day just because I took over a driving shift for the last couple of hours into Silver City, and we came through the Gila National Forest, and so it was very windy roads, not good to be filming. And then we got in and we quickly checked in to our Airbnb here that we're staying in. And then we went to the Trail Days kickoff, and I just want to be, I'm going to be very transparent here because I want this channel to be about a lot of things, but as you guys have heard me say, like, authenticity is really important to me, and projecting that out into the world, and, you know, not only just to connect with others, but so people don't feel alone in their stuff, if you will. So I am self-diagnosed autistic, and that happened through therapy a few years ago, and since then I now have language to use around certain things that happen with me and the characteristics that I have. I am a pretty big introvert, but just based on the types of jobs that I've had and things I have to do, I have masked really hard in my life, especially as a child, and then really hard in my 20s. And you know, I've pretty much drank my entire adult life, like alcohol, and I've been sober now for 8 months, and I'm now really understanding the effects that alcohol had on my social interactions and how it helped me to cope in a way. So anyway, I deal with some pretty bad social anxiety at times, and it's very specific situations and all that. I don't have to get into that, but it's gotten worse since COVID and working remote, where I'm not having to expose myself to like big groups of people anymore like I was when I had, you know, an in-person job or when I was at university. So long story short, we went to the Trail Days kickoff yesterday, and we went into this little bar pub thing, and immediately, like, the music was really loud and overstimulating, and people, of course, when the music's loud, people are louder, so like the voices were loud. And then it's really interesting because when I start to go into a social anxiety kind of panic attack, my senses start to really go off, and it's like my smell increases and my hearing increases and my sensitivity to things increases. But I was trying to stay calm because I really wanted to go, and I really wanted to meet people and make friends and just connect with other people that are doing this thing, because this is kind of like the whole point. Well, a major point, let's say. So I could see hikers like going into this back room, and I was like, okay. So I followed them in there just to kind of understand like what was going on. Like, I knew there was a hikers buffet and everything. And so I went back there, and immediately, like, it was a very small and narrow room with a lot of people. And like, the anxiety started to really tick up, and I'm smiling about it now, but it was not fun. So I just removed myself from the situation. I went back into the main part of the restaurant, sat down with my mom, and it just became then like trying to control a panic attack at that point, because not only am I dealing with something that feels like I can't control, then I have a lot of negative self-talk that I'm having to try and keep at bay, because like these voices in my head are like, something's wrong with you, you're not good enough, why are you here, you know, you're never going to be normal, you're never going to be able to make friends like this. It's just awful, awful stuff, right? And so I'm trying to control that, trying not to like have fight or flight, but I'm having fight or flight. And anyway, we had ordered food. We didn't do the hiker's buffet. We just went ahead and ordered food with our server, and it was taking forever to come. They were really busy. And the food came, and it was okay. It wasn't great, but I was really shaky because like we hadn't eaten since breakfast, and I'm like crying at the table, like this soft, like slow tears that come. And I had to end up going to the bathroom. I had to go outside. I had to do a meditation, and then ended up getting in the car and, you know, kind of breaking down and crying because, you know, I'm 34 years old and I've been dealing with this since I can remember, since being a little girl, like in school, having anxiety, getting dropped off at school, going into the lunchroom, sitting down with people, like even though I grew up with these people, like sitting down with different people every day, going to recess, and then eventually, you know, when I got to college, like having to stand up and give speeches in front of classes and stuff, and then going into the corporate world and having to function, you know, as a neurotypical mind. And it just, yeah, I got really good at it, and the alcohol helped. And now I'm not so good at it anymore, and I'm not drinking alcohol. So I'm telling this story to be not only transparent about what I struggle with, but to be open about like the whole journey, because like I'm wanting to make friends and stuff, but I'm having to like remind myself that not everybody makes friends in the same way. And I've never been good in like groups of people, like going up to big groups and just like inserting myself in conversation, or picking someone out from the crowd and just kind of like talking to them or asking them questions. And so, you know, dealing with that negative self-talk yesterday, I really had to, you know, my mom helped a lot as well, tell myself that like it's okay to be different, and it's okay to make friends in a different way. And I'm much better in small groups. Like at my last job, people didn't believe that I was an introvert because they only ever saw me on camera, which is a very controlled setting. Like I know when I'm going to be on camera, I know who's going to be on the call, right? Like it was a lot of structure, and so they didn't believe me, and they're like, what, you know? And then when I would see them in person, I would almost like mask and like turn on this version of myself that is true but isn't. It's like a forced version almost, you know, to like please people and like make sure they like me. All that to say, you know, I've been on this break now 8 months, and I haven't had to interact with a lot of people outside of my family and friends, so it was a very jarring experience. So unfortunately I didn't meet anybody, and didn't get to like hear the speech and stuff because I just couldn't go in that back room. It was giving me a lot of anxiety. And we left, and we went and got some items at the grocery store just to get by, you know, for today, because I leave for trail tomorrow morning. And yeah, like the rest of the night was okay. I was just like emotionally drained. But yeah, I just wanted to be open about that because I know there's probably a lot of people out there that struggle with something similar, and it's really hard for me to talk about because it feels very vulnerable. But yeah, I just want to be truthful because I'm not, you know, not everybody just comes out and does something big and crazy and like is super successful at it or makes friends right away, and I don't think that's going to be my story, unfortunately. But I'm hopeful because tomorrow morning I think I'm on a shuttle with like, I think they said 7 people are leaving tomorrow, like including me, so 6 other people. And I'm much better in small groups and, you know, having more one-on-one, face-to-face, deeper conversation. So hopefully that helps. But that's some real story for you guys about trying to come to trail days and make friends as an autistic introvert with social anxiety. It's like a triple whammy. Yeah, but anyway, today is supposed to be like the festival day where there's like vendors and you can walk through, and like there's food and gear companies here. But there's like a huge storm system rolling in a major part of like the central US, and it is currently snowing outside. I'm looking at it right now. Apparently it's supposed to stop this afternoon and maybe be partly sunny, but I think we're just going to kind of hole up here for the morning and early afternoon, and then if the weather gets better, maybe head out there. I think I'll be able to do a little better with today because it's in an open area in a park, and there's not structure, but there's also not like something you have to do. There's a bunch of people for one thing. You can just kind of walk around and talk to people if you want, or talk to vendors or whatever. So tomorrow morning, bright and early, I am heading to Lordsburg to get on the shuttle by 6:30 in the morning, and then they will bus us down to the border. It's about a 3-hour drive down, and then I will officially start the CDT, which is really exciting. I am excited regardless of all the things that have been kind of going on. But I'm not gonna lie, it has been it's been a lot of emotions, like leaving my, you know, my family, my animals, and then dealing with kind of just this big change, because I haven't had a big change in a while now. I mean, outside of deciding to quit my job, but like moving or doing a big adventure or something like that. So it has not been all rainbows and sunshine. It's definitely been a difficult weekend, but I'm getting through it, and I have family that's, you know, been really lovely and have called and talked to me. My mom is here, and yeah, so I have a support group, but it doesn't make it just easy or make it go away. You know, you still have to power through on your own and reinforce positive self-talk and be strong and be brave. So yeah, I'll get some footage of some of the booths and stuff later today, if we're able to make it out, and then get this uploaded for you guys. At around 1 o'clock, the storm started to break and we saw some sunny skies, so we decided to go ahead and head down to Goff Park and check out trail days. When we got there wasn't a ton of people. I mean, these folks have been braving the storm since 9 a.m., so we did see quite a few vendors like actually packing up. And I didn't see too many hikers, but we did see a few brands: Outdoor Vitals, Osprey, Hyperlap Mountain Gear, and then a few local cottage brands. So yeah, it was nice to get out and walk around and see kind of what gear shops were out there. And then we did actually get to spend a few minutes talking to the CDT crew about dark skies. But yeah, it was nice to get out of the house, and glad that the storm finally passed. So I just finished recording all of my voiceovers for this video, which is why I am in the car. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope you guys have enjoyed coming along with me and my mom on our road trip from Oklahoma to New Mexico, and just getting to see more behind the scenes about how some people actually get to trail. And yeah, just experiencing the highs and lows that have been not only the last few days, but the last, what feels like few weeks and months. And just know that, you know, if your brain is different, if you're different, you can still do hard things, and it may come with more tears than the average person, but that you can do it. And yeah, I just appreciate your support. I thank you for being here and for watching this video. My next video will actually be starting tomorrow when I get, you know, on the shuttle, and then my walk from the border to Lordsburg. So once I'm in Lordsburg, I will try and do my best to get the video uploaded at a restaurant or something, because I'm actually going to keep walking until Silver City. That will be my first 0. So expect my video to come in the next few days to maybe a week from now, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks so much.